When you're at Whole Foods without any money and you've eaten too much weed-infused honey, you're in the bubble. You're in the Boulder bubble. Tech companies don't know what they're doing. A mountain town with ideas brewing. You're in the bubble. You're in the Boulder bubble. It's a pretty little town with a lot of things to do and a lot of things to see. 25 miles surrounded by reality. You're in the bubble. You're in the Boulder bubble. You're in the bubble. You're in the Boulder bubble. Radio 1190's The Bubble, hosted by Ethan and Donato.
Hello. Welcome to the first episode of the Bubble podcast from Radio 1190. We're very excited to be bringing you content once a month. It's going to be a lot of fun. This episode, we have a lot of good stuff for you guys. Basically, the aim of this podcast is to just bring you really interesting content, interviews, live sessions, and we're going to try and keep it centered in Boulder and Denver. But as you'll see, with this episode in particular, sometimes we bend the rules because that's what we're all about. On this episode, we have a local entrepreneur who's also a student at CU Boulder. His name's Mac Bolack. He is the CEO of a company called Give and Go Film, and he came into the studio and we chatted with him. We also have an interview with Evan Stevens Hall from the band Pinegrove, one of my favorite bands. I was absolutely a nervous wreck when I interviewed him, but it was a lot of fun. We rated vegetables. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for you to hear it. We also have American Grandma, one of our favorite Denver bands. They came into the studio, played a little set, and also did a little interview. So keep it tuned here. Keep listening to The Bubble. Right now, we are going to head straight into that interview with Mac Bolack. He is a young entrepreneur enrolled at CU Boulder in the business school. So let's hear from Mac. Mac, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Second time on the radio.
Second time ever?
Second time ever.
What was the first time?
That's amazing.
So I did this sports trivia contest in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I was like 6 years old, but I knew a lot about sports. So
Wow.
Nice.
It was a blast.
Nice.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Of course. You're a sports fanatic.
I'm a
correct?
fanatic. I used to play 7 hours a day in my driveway.
Really?
Really?
It was crazy. Till the sun went down.
Wow. Did you watch Mayweather-McGregor last night?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah.
I watched it. I know nothing about sports. I watched it last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was about what I expected. I mean, do you know anything about boxing? Did you know about the fight?
I mean, I know it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically, Mayweather just got McGregor tired the whole time.
Yeah.
And then after, like, 22 minutes had passed or whatever, like the MMA fight length, he just kind of proved that he was a really good boxer, and McGregor wasn't.
Yeah, but McGregor, you got to give the guy first boxing match ever.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's a good boxer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's like the scariest man in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxing and fighting is so crazy. That's what I realized watching the fight.
Where'd you watch it?
Well, I watched like the first rounds. I didn't watch like the main fight.
Oh, okay.
But there's like so much pageantry still in boxing that like there isn't in other sports.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like they still just have like girls in bikinis like and like holding the round number above their head.
Yeah.
It's like
Which is hilarious.
the least civilized
Yeah,
sport that we
absolutely.
still like enjoy. I think everyone knows that when they're watching it.
And like no one
Yeah.
knows what any of the belts mean at all.
Super
They're like
middle,
a million,
super middle, medium.
Yeah, they're like a
Right.
million different kind of belts and no one knows what they mean.
So Mac, you run a company. What's your company called?
Yeah, so
What do you guys do?
it's Give and Go. And basically, we autonomously edit sports footage for coaches. So right now, a really tedious process. I mean, everybody's edited film. You go through, you basically cut all the commercials, the dead balls out, label what's happening. We do all that automatically.
Interesting. So it's a tech company.
It's a tech company.
Cool.
So do you know about tech or do you know about sports? What are you?
Both. So I think it all started. I was a freshman, and I started a company. It was basically Uber for haircuts.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do tell. What does that
It's still
mean?
going. If you want someone to come to your dorm and give you a haircut, all did. Look that up.
Oh,
It's
I
called
think
All
you
Did?
told me
All
about
Did.
that.
I didn't know about it.
I thought you told me about like someone did an Uber for haircuts, which is a crazy
Maybe
good
I
idea.
did.
Yeah, maybe. So it's
Wow.
interesting, and my co-founder's still working on it.
Oh,
And this
nice.
was my dorm mate, essentially.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and because I started this company, it basically gave me like a kind of understanding of the space, and I got called by a venture capital firm, and basically they were starting a firm of basically students investing in students. So like $10 million VC fund investing in university companies. They wanted me to work for them, and I still work for them.
Oh, that's
but
crazy.
basically, I had to dip my feet in tech and like really understand what was going on in the space, and ended up learning a lot about
Totally.
like new technologies.
I read
Yeah.
some blog post you wrote about like the sharing economy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
joy
about?
mode,
Yeah, it was really interesting.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dude.
How has that like influenced you? Like how has studying the tech industry
What
influenced
is
you?
joy mode?
Yeah, so joy mode basically it's Uber for experiences. So it's funny to just put Uber. It's like a really cliche thing in
Yeah,
tech, and like
it's
my
Uber for
my
X.
tech. Yeah,
Yeah.
my tech
Yeah.
friends would give me a nuggie right now, but basically, if you want to
Shouldn't
get
you give your tech friends a nugget? Like,
Don't give 'em a
Usually,
nuggie.
tech friends are like the nerdy ones who get
Yeah.
beat up, right?
oh yeah, they are.
You're like the sports dude.
Yeah, I'm the sports dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a mix. But basically, like, you could get a popcorn maker to your, like, you could rent a popcorn maker. You could rent, like, a unicycle, or, like, anything that's essentially, like, crazy.
Right.
Right.
It's like
Okay.
novelties. Like you can rent novelties.
Because you don't want to buy something that you're going to use once. It's kind of a good idea. Like, you're only going to use a
Yeah.
popcorn maker, like, once, realistically.
Right.
Totally.
Studying tech has been everything. Like, I follow a lot of different like blogs. I get a lot of emails that I try to stay up on, where it's basically just like these like, subscriptions and these tickers where you're learning like who got acquired, who's raising money, who's doing cool stuff, essentially.
Totally.
And like that taught me about machine learning. That taught me about artificial intelligence. That taught me about video processing, and that enabled me to see a problem and know that a solution was possible, which
Yeah.
is what you need for a business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So that's how you came up with the idea for editing sports?
Yeah, so
how did you know that was a problem? Because it doesn't seem like most people know that, like, it takes that long for coaches to edit sports video.
Exactly. So there are hidden truths in the world, and obviously like things that it's hard to find the answer to, but if you really dive deep, you can. And my blessing was that I was a manager for the basketball team.
Oh.
So I was editing this footage,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and I was spending hours and hours on this stuff, and said, "There's got to be a better way." Like,
Totally.
this is crazy to me that this is still
and
happening.
that's for college?
yeah,
team?
for college. So this is for CU Boulder. This is
Yeah.
for the Buffs. I was a manager.
Your product, are you selling it to colleges? or-
Yeah, we're gonna start with colleges,
Okay.
and then go like NBA. We're talking to a lot of NBA teams, a lot of
Yeah.
college teams.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
How are you trying to like expand the business in a way that isn't just like getting more teams or coaches to subscribe, but like in a technical way? Do you have like bigger plans for the technology?
Yeah, I mean, I would say other sports, and that's the extent of it.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
I mean, you look at like Amazon. Amazon, it was e-commerce for books.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a small space, and you really just have to nail that small space.
Right.
And that's what we're going to do with basketball. That's our small space. Our big space is all of sports. Eventually, consumer product. Like, you want to get, like, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors. You want to get the whole game. You don't want to watch the whole game. Like, it's, like, long. But you'd like to see all the dunks. You'd like to
Right.
see all the three-pointers.
Oh.
Like, that's the type of service, like, we
So-
could provide.
You're going to edit it for, like, fans as
Yeah.
well? Nice.
So you only see what you want to see.
Yeah.
Like, how much of that fight was interesting last night?
Well, it's a pretty short fight. Every round is pretty important.
Okay,
But
okay.
you could still edit together like the power punches and whatnot.
Sure.
And it'd be easy to watch it that way.
Yeah.
But so Yeah, so for consumers, I mean, is the software like applicable to every sport? Like, does every sport need like footage like that cut, you know?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Every sport is cutting.
Mm-hmm.
It's more applicable in some than others. Like football, for example, they play obviously every week.
Yeah.
Basketball, they play like every few days, every
Right.
2 days. So there's this need to edit faster.
Yeah.
And like the sooner it's done, the better. And that's our big advantage. Because right now someone's editing it, and there are a lot of like third-party services that take 24 hours. We take 20 minutes.
20
So-
minutes.
20 minutes.
So there's like an
That's crazy.
algorithm that just reads.
Exactly.
How does it know when something cool happens? And
Yeah. So basically, it's watching the game, and
Yeah.
the extent of it is like it's machine learning, it's artificial intelligence, it's computer vision. So the
Wow.
computer vision's essentially watching the game and determining when the game's happening and when it's not, and then also what's happening.
Totally. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Computers are crazy.
they're crazy,
They're crazy.
and it's only gonna get crazier.
I'm wondering, like, hearing you talk about all this success at you're like 20, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are you motivated to like stay in school when you have like a pretty successful?
are you gonna
Tech
stay in
startup.
school? Is the company gonna move out of Boulder?
I want to stay in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, school is not that cool. We're not getting a ton out of it, unless we're really diving in. Like it's just like
Right.
anything. Like how deep do you want to dive?
Yeah.
But I want to finish it up. Like I'm 2 years away. I'm a junior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be junior, and I'm halfway through. Like I just want to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I just want to get that off my chest. And I think I definitely thought about dropping out, but we
Yeah.
sell in the summers. Like we sell, we're selling now. So that's when
Okay.
that's when I'm really busy during the school year. Like these coaches are so busy, you know, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine to be a little bit like distracted on school.
Dropping out is totally a cliche now for like
Yeah.
tech startups.
Yeah, it is.
So
Honestly,
stay in school.
I will.
That's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, is the company planning to stay in Boulder? Like, do you have any long-term plans about where you're going to go to? I mean,
Yeah.
how is it being in Boulder?
Yeah. I mean, part of me wants to be in Detroit.
Yeah,
Really?
very cool. Why do you say that?
I'm from Michigan, and it's really cheap.
It is super cheap. Yeah,
totally
I want to move to
cheap.
Detroit.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I have a co-founder. He's like a very ADD guy, and I just want to get him away from this
Yeah.
because he's partying.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good technical guy, but you know he's distracted. He loves like the bars, like Detroit. I don't know what he's gonna be doing there. Like
Is there
True.
any like tech scene there at all? If that's what you,
you know,
call it.
it's budding. It's budding. It's no Boulder. Boulder's amazing.
That's what I
Boulder
hear.
is an anomaly.
It's an
It's
anomaly.
crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and thinking about like how it happened, there's this guy named Brad Feld.
Oh yeah, is he
And
the
what-
Techstars guy?
Yeah, he is.
Didn't Jared Polis also
Jared
started
Polis.
Techstars, which is pretty crazy.
Billion dollar accelerator. I worked
Yeah.
there. I worked at Techstars.
Yeah,
Oh.
for sure.
Yeah. And that was like part of like the technical growth. But these guys basically he writes books on this like building a community. And obviously we have the university
Yeah.
and we have some amazing programs, aerospace, computer science, like really jump out. And I think we had the potential, and this guy came here. All these really smart people come here, and they want to bring tech. Like they go to MIT, they go to Harvard, and I think CU can become that. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not there yet,
Totally.
but I think it can become that.
Totally.
And like we want to be a part of that. We want to help like spur that.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Boulder is really weird in that like there's just so much capital here,
Yeah,
and it's such a small town.
yeah,
I don't think anyone understands like where it came from
Yeah.
and how it maintains itself.
Like
I don't know who the people are in Boulder
Yeah.
or how they're shopping at the places they are.
how'd they get here. It's crazy.
it's crazy. They wanted to hike.
Yeah, for sure.
They just wanted to hike.
They just needed to hike.
Yeah.
They started an app.
So you guys were funded via CU?
Yeah, so CU gave us about 15 grand.
15. Nice.
So we won the New Venture Challenge, which is
Yeah.
CU's premier entrepreneurial event. And honestly, amazing experience. Like, did a ton of pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what I do. Like, I'm the pitch man. I'm the hype man.
Nice.
I'm a performer. I used to street perform. So
I remember that.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah, I read that on your website, I think.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so if you Google me, you'll see a video of Basket Case by Green Day.
Oh, I thought
Love
you did
it.
like Bob Dylan.
We did that too. I mean, we did some Bob Dylan.
You also did
Yeah.
Twist and Shout by the Beatles,
Yeah.
right? Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a performer, and we won $70,000 through this event. And
That is insane. All like were there private investors too? Or?
yeah, so
Wow.
this guy Brad Feld that I was mentioning basically made this community.
Yeah.
And the whole Boulder mentality in the startup community is give first. And basically, it's this sort of principle that if you give, and you'll get
Will foster
eventually.
Interesting.
growth, yeah.
Exactly. And now, you look at us, essentially Brad Feld and this guy Dan Caruso, who's Zayo's CEO.
Zayo's very cool.
Yeah, Zayo's very cool.
What is Zayo?
They make like these wires and stuff, but it's basically just like data, right? Like
Yeah, they're the infrastructure that runs the internet.
Oh, interesting. So they
So-
make the hardware?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like wires that are running the internet, and this is like an $8 billion company. This is a public company.
oh yeah.
Boulder's biggest company that was started here, in
Right.
my mind.
Right.
Yeah, they're huge. They have like a headquarters in like London and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're a big company.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys gave us $50K, and it gets sort of reinvested in the community in that, one, we're going to be providing jobs,
Right.
and two, it's a convertible note, so it's essentially an investment where they're getting a piece of the company.
Right.
So, and they're going to reinvest the winnings in other Boulder companies, in other CU companies.
That's
Nice.
cool.
So they own part of the company now.
They will.
They will.
They will.
Okay. So how big is your company? Like how many people? You said it's gonna create jobs. Like
Yeah.
how big are you looking to get?
Yeah, so we have 3 co-founders, and we had 4 interns this summer.
Nice.
So some technical interns, some business interns, and there are 2 ways we can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one, this could be a lifestyle business where we have revenue that's something like we have profit that's something like $2 million a year, and the company stays kind of small. It's us and maybe a couple other important employees.
Right.
And then the other alternative is, we go consumer facing, we go to other sports,
Yeah.
and we're going to talk to the customers, and they're going to give us the answer to that question. And we're just keeping an open mind. I think this can be big, but I mean, I'm not going to force it, and we'll see
Totally.
what happens, because either way, this will be, I think it'll be a successful company.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like office space or?
No, if you're listening, give us some office space.
Hit them with some office space.
Go ahead and call in. That's 303-492-1190. Call in with your office space here for Mac Bolack, young entrepreneur, CEO here in Boulder, fostering growth for the community,
Free
creating
office
jobs.
space.
He needs some office space.
For free.
I
Go ahead
do.
and call in.
I do. But right now, we work out of like the law school. We work out of the business school.
Okay, cool.
We're a scrappy bunch. I
Yeah.
mean, we're in an accelerator this summer, the CU accelerator. It's called Catalyze CU, and we got office space through them for the summer. But
Do you hang out at Spark at all?
so Spark shut down.
No way. When did that happen?
This was last May.
I had no idea.
Really sad.
Yeah.
So I think the start of my entrepreneur experience started at Spark.
Yeah.
There used to be this thing called Liftoff, and entrepreneurs would come in. I'd leave really inspired every day.
Yeah.
Eventually, me and my roommate, he got high and had the idea for Uber for haircuts.
Oh, nice.
But we were
That's
inspired.
how every good business idea starts.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
That's
into
how Uber started.
Yeah.
Is it
They're
really?
like, we need to make Uber for cars,
That's how Quiznos started.
and that's how Uber started. Uber
Wow.
for sandwiches.
That's how Quiznos started.
Actually?
No, but
No.
just imagine like
Just to be cool did.
this guy, like this guy is just high at Subway, and he's like, I have the best idea.
What's the difference?
It's gonna be like Subway, but totally different color scheme.
with a Q, with a similar color
Yeah.
scheme.
Yeah, what do you think's the coolest thing that you've done so far?
With the company?
Yeah, with the company.
Yeah. I mean, in general, like, it's amazing that we're autonomously editing footage. It's amazing, this sort of revolution that's happening. It's cool to be a part of that. Like, it's cool to be a part of the
next wave.
wave that's gonna make like people's lives easier, I would say.
Interesting.
And the
Yeah.
people that are getting like displaced, I think I think there will be new opportunities in like
that idea sort of goes hand in hand with the like Uber for whatever, idea where like people can now use the assets they do have to build wealth for themselves,
Totally.
Yeah.
If they have a car, they can like let someone else use it.
Exactly.
The sharing economy is like a totally real thing for millennials. Like
Yeah.
Seriously.
like a real revenue stream.
Yeah.
Which is
There are a
pretty
lot of
crazy.
opportunities.
Yeah,
for it.
for sure.
Yeah, but I would say just what we're doing, like the tech is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's really special to be part of it.
Have you met anybody cool? Like any like coaches or anything that you're like?
We've talked to a lot of them.
Yeah.
We've talked to like some amazing coaches, like coaches from Duke.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to the Nuggets. We've talked to the Celtics. We've talked to, the Warriors. And like as such a sports fanatic, like it's my dream. I mean,
Yeah.
Totally.
it's amazing.
Who are your clients right now?
So just CU, but we have over 100 teams ready to demo the product.
Oh, interesting.
And the product is going to be out in about 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the co-founders, like, they're not here because they're grinding on this. They're building it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not technical, so
Okay, cool.
in that I don't code.
And they also go to see you, right?
Yeah, they
That
go
sounds
to
like
CU.
so much work.
Yeah.
Like doing school and getting
Yeah.
ready to launch a product.
and
That's
they're
crazy.
they're computer science too.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
amazingly
So they're
hard.
working
I'm
hard
business.
already.
Business isn't that hard.
Right.
You're in Leeds.
I'm in
I
Leeds.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Information management.
You like leads?
No.
Oh, really?
Why?
We were talking about this.
I mean, yeah, I transferred out of Leeds Business School. I'm just
Yeah.
curious why. what you don't like about it.
I think kids are, there's like this misalignment of motivations where everyone just kind of wants to make money and everyone thinks, oh, this is so stupid. And I do too. Like, we were just in base, which is, see you, another shout out, like, fix this program because it's a good idea and premise. It's like an integrated semester where you're like doing work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're actually like consulting for a company.
It's like a 12 credit hour course.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then, were you able to take other classes while taking that, or was it hard?
It wasn't too hard.
Okay. You took like 15 or something.
I took 15.
Nice.
Yeah, I took one other class.
Mm-hmm. So you have to consult for a business throughout the, like, what do you do?
Yeah, you consult for a business. Like, we consulted for a startup. We consulted for like Ball Aerospace.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea and premise.
Yeah.
It's just like, it ends up just one kid in the project does it. One kid in the group just does the projects and like.
As is very common with like all group projects. I've
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah, shout out to group projects.
Yeah, shout out to that
one
kid
guy.
that doesn't do anything.
Yep. He's not in here today.
Yeah.
I don't
You
think.
can make it.
We're not those guys.
No way. And that's like high stakes because it's 12 credits.
Oh yeah.
Sounds
But it
brutal.
is-
That
Sounds
is high
super
stakes.
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
every course in Leeds is just a weed out course of sorts. Like
Yeah.
even your upper division classes.
Yeah. They're still just trying to get you out. They got you.
Yeah. They did get me. Well, I didn't fail out though.
Yeah.
I was doing great.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you failed.
Wait, who told you that?
Everyone says
Did
it.
Dean say that?
Call in if do not have failed. If you know anything, call in.
Who was the dean of the business school who like just
Oh,
left?
Eikenberry.
Eikenberry.
I've been to this man's house.
You've been to Eikenberry's house.
He cooked me a brat.
No way. How was it?
Is that true?
It was delicious.
Really?
Could you maybe give us some
Misogynist,
contact?
but he cooks really well.
Are you
Huh.
going to say that live on air right now? You're going to call this man who made you a brat
I
misogynist?
mean, he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
but
that's why you got
he
kicked
got
out
in
of CU,
trouble
though.
for that. He got in trouble for that.
Fair enough.
What was the story behind that?
I don't want to.
It was,
I don't want to speculate.
I don't know verbatim, but it was something like there were less opportunities in like higher paid positions for like women in Leeds business
Yeah.
school.
Oh, interesting.
Women getting like weird comments made to them. Essentially.
Oh, that too? I
Yeah.
didn't know about that.
Yeah. So it wasn't just that. It wasn't just your opportunity.
Interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say we did good work here.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Thanks for inviting me in, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for coming in, man.
Thanks
yeah,
for coming on.
enjoyed it.
All right, coming up next on The Bubble, we have an interview with Evan Stevens Hall. He is the guitar player and lead songwriter of the band Pinegrove from Montclair, New Jersey. They're blowing up. They played the Larimer last summer, and then they played the Marquee And in October, they are playing the Bluebirds, so they are moving up the ladder in terms of Colorado venues. I'm a huge fan. Go check out their album Cardinal. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, here is that interview with Evan Stevens Hall from Pinegrove.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I'm so stoked to be chatting with you. I know that Cardinal was like definitely my album of 2016. So thank you very much for that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, of course. You guys have blown up a lot in the last 2 years. Would you agree?
Yeah, we're definitely playing for more people.
Yeah, I love it. Last time you were in Denver, you played at the Larimer Lounge. Oh, you also played at the station. Do you remember that?
Yes, certainly. That was really fun. Actually, the last time we were in Denver, we were at the Marquee Theater. We were in Denver. I think 3 or 4 times last year, actually.
Do you like Denver?
Oh yeah, totally. And I've spent a lot of time in the surrounding parts because I was a camp counselor at Geneva Glen Camp in Colorado, in Indian Hills, Colorado, for 4 summers, and was a camper there. Yeah, my grandmother was a counselor there, and cousins of mine. So there's a lot of family over there.
So you may not know this also, but we actually met on Twitter like a week ago.
Hello.
Do you remember the screenshot of like the YouTube auto captions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That was me.
Yeah, that was strange. Wait, what was it?
It was very strange. You should maybe contact YouTube about that.
Oh, well, I mean, like, as far as just like digital scramblings of, of sensibilities or sense at all, I'm in favor of a more fractured informational age.
Oh, I love it. That's an amazing attitude to take towards it.
I mean, it's just sort of like can't beat 'em, join 'em type, Yeah,
absolutely. Let YouTube have a little bit of creative license over your own work.
Yeah, let them have some fun.
Let them have, man, they work hard. That auto caption machine works hard. What books are you reading right now?
I am reading The Broom of the System.
Oh,
by
St. Dave.
David Foster Wallace. Yep, his first novel. I am enjoying it. It's mostly interested as a fan of his work and to see like where he came from, because I think a lot of the things that makes him really good are present in this book. I think there are a lot of flaws. Clearly this is written by just like basically a horny college student. They're just gratuitous. There's gratuitous sexuality all over. He has the female protagonist is just like sometimes just like naked for no reason, or like, yeah. So that's kind of annoying. They're just like some forehead slappers for sure.
That's interesting because I've read probably about 3/4 of Infinite Jest, and there's like pretty much no sexual imagery in that book. Like I never thought of David Foster Wallace as like someone who would utilize that kind of imagery. It seems like he'd actually be like against it.
Yeah, it's it's here and there. I think that actually kind of erotic longing is an important dimension of loneliness, and definitely it's not that I'm against that totally. I just think that he just sort of doesn't. He handles it sophomorically, kind of.
Well, the book is from,
but,
what is it, like the 90s?
It's like earlier. It's like 87. He wrote it as an undergrad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But that said, I am enjoying aspects of it, and mostly enjoying it as a way to just like see where he came from. Because like the whole like kind of surreal corporate America image is present there. There's like this whole like baby food mogul corporate competition going on. And there's, I don't know, just like some of the voices you can kind of recognize as like, you know, proto Wallace-esque.
Totally. I can tell you were an English major. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I love it.
You got me.
I wanted to ask you, like, how you probably have a lot of experience with creative writing, like, other than songwriting. And I've noticed that you use images and metaphors a lot in your songs. Is the process different when you're crafting a song as opposed to a poem or a piece of prose?
Well, I want to just start by coming out and saying that definitely the most experience I have is as a songwriter. I did study creative writing in college, but not all that much. I have written some poetry, but I think that writing songs is like kind of an easier process, really, because you have more dimensions to work with. First of all, your vocal inflection very much helps you construct meaning, or at least convey it to the listener. So if you're asking a question, you can inflect upwards, or if you're asking a rhetorical question, you can reflect downwards. If you no other examples come immediately to mind, but like just the whole melodic dimension allows you another mode of signification.
Yeah, totally. I've never thought about it that way, but yeah, like inflection totally is just another tool in the toolbox, I guess, for songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I think you
and
do a
phrasing
really good job.
too.
Like
you
do very interesting movements with your voice, and just speaking to your live performances. Also, I love the energy, as well as like the risks that you take as a performer when you're performing live. It's very experimental, and I appreciate that a lot. How is it?
Thanks. I think that partly has to do with just like wanting to maintain interest, and like I believe that each performance of a song is like a unique iteration, and you know I want to be responsive to the crowd and to the musicians I'm playing with. So I mean I think that's the origin of that.
Totally. You're vegan, right?
Yes.
Do you want to rate some vegetables?
Oh, sure. I'm prepared to do that for sure.
All right. I'm going to start with a weird one. Actually, are pumpkins vegetables?
Well, okay, so check it out. Vegetable is a culinary category, not like a taxonomical category. So it's really like, if it's not that sweet, it's a vegetable. Like there's that whole thing like, did you know that tomatoes are actually fruits?
Yeah, that guy.
It's like, okay, like actually almost all vegetables are actually fruits. And if they're not, then they are a leaf or a stem or a root. But yeah.
You know your vegetables, man. That's crazy.
Well, the thing is, I recently tweeted about this, just kind of joking around about. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but we got into a pretty good public conversation about what constitutes a vegetable. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so I've got a pretty open mind about what constitutes a vegetable, and I think pumpkin qualifies. You want just like a scale 1 to 100?
Let's do like 1 to 100. Let's do that.
Okay, just because I want to be as specific as possible.
Absolutely.
Well, I've been really into pumpkin seeds lately. I think that
almost the only edible part of the pumpkin.
Yeah, practically. Though pumpkin flavored things, you know, autumn's coming up. They really have a time and a place, and so while it's maybe not something I would have with every meal, I think that I'm gonna give it just a solid 88.
No way.
This is a really good vegetable.
That's huge.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, you're gonna find that most of these are above 80 because I just really I love vegetables. Right. Vegetables are life.
All right.
Vegetables are my life.
So, talk to me about kale.
That's a really good one too. I like to make a spicy kale that I then put on. I slather some hummus and tomato, but
spicy kale.
Yeah, so that would involve jalapeno peppers and onion and garlic, and I kind of just fry it all up. The thing about kale is I think it's great to include the stems, just for a little bit of extra crunch and extra nutritional value. I'm going to give kale a 90.
90?
A minus.
Wait, was it 90 or more?
No, just 90. 90.
Okay.
Yep.
It's also packed with protein.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? 90.5.
90.5 for the protein. All right, let's do one more veg, and then I know you have a bunch more stuff to do today, so I'll let you go. But talk to me. Ooh, can I actually do like a dish that's derivative of vegetables?
Sure. I'm down to field any question you got here.
All right, excellent. Talk to me about kimchi.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely it's a time and a place type arrangement, but this is like pickled, right? It's like Korean pickled.
It's more of a condiment.
Medley.
I guess. Dish was the wrong word.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I don't really like very briny foods. So I think I would take a little bit on the side. So I'm going to go for maybe a 75.
You heard it here first, folks. 75 for kimchi. I love it.
Out of 150.
Oh, damn. Okay. That changes things, but still, it's all right. All right, Evan, thanks so much for chatting with us. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day.
Hey, thanks a lot. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to take a quick break and listen to a sweeper from our parent organization, Radio 1190. They make this all possible. We both work here, and we love it very much. And then we're going to head straight into that live set by American Grandma, followed by a quick interview, and then we'll call it an episode. All right, cool.
Well, where'd he go? He went in the radio. He disappeared right into the radio. Brian!
I'm stuck in Radio 1190's extensive CD collection of over 470,000 CDs and counting.
Oh.
I'm stuck between Slanted Enchanted and Merriweather Post Pavilion.
We'll try to play you out. Oh, you're back. Well, that was a weird thing to happen. Anyways, you're listening to Radio 1190. 1190 AM, Boulder, Denver, 98.9 FM in the Boulder Valley.
We're playing our new EP, Nine of Swords, today. This song is called Mend. I don't want to. Shadow
In the studio right now, I have two members of American Grandma, Jen and Caden.
Hi.
Hello.
How are we?
Good. Thank you for having
good.
us.
No problem. That was an amazing set. I love the band. I love American Grandma.
Thanks.
I'll say it first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a new EP that you just released called Nine of Spades, correct?
Nine of Swords.
Oh, Nine of Swords?
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
It's okay. It's made up, so it's okay.
Oh, cool. It's called Nine of Swords.
Yeah.
You can find it on Bandcamp, correct?
Yeah. I think a couple days ago it got put on Spotify and iTunes too.
Oh, cool.
It should be up there.
Right on. How long did that whole process take to record that
2
EP?
weeks.
Really?
One day of tracking and 2 weeks of mixing collaboratively.
Oh, sweet. And
Mm-hmm.
how long did it take to write those songs?
Only not very long, like less than half a year, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we've been sitting on a couple of them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote a couple with Bryce, who is drummer, guitar player, third member that
Yeah.
we've been playing with for 2 months.
Sweet. When did that last record come out? Was that like...
New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
yeah.
like the
actually.
first day of the year.
That's pretty impressive. You guys put out a full-length LP and then this, like, 8 months apart. That's pretty sweet.
This one
Thanks.
was easier.
Yeah, the process of this one was way different. Like, it was the first time that we tracked just live all in a room, which is
Yeah.
part of the reason it was so short. But it was a lot of fun because for the last, like, full length, we spent so long. Like, it was awesome, don't get me wrong, but we just tracked it for a really long time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it was like a nice change of pace to just record live in a room. I sang the next day, and then it was like the tracking was done.
Yeah, totally. This EP and, like, this lineup is a lot more dynamic, I think. So I think, like, tracking it live was a good route to go, for sure.
Yeah, we'd never done that before. Like, just getting around to, like, writing in the same room, we had also never done before.
Right.
We used to just, Jen would come with a guitar part or a vocal part and send it to me, and I would kind of sort of, like, mix it a little bit, maybe, like, help Jen write maybe a second part or a third part that it was missing. And we had just never written in the same room before, which is so weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So when we started doing that recently, especially with Bryce, it became really obvious. Like, we don't sound like this when we
Right.
play live. So we need to make something
Yeah, totally.
that will stop being everybody's, like, first, like listen when they go
Right,
onto
right,
our
right.
like Bandcamp. Like, we need to make something that actually sounds like the band.
Yeah, totally.
Because nothing like we don't have anything else that does.
Yeah, because with the last album, like I said, like, don't get me wrong, and I love so many of the songs on there, but it was like we were trying to recreate live what we were able to record and track. Whereas with this one, like Caden said, we're like, we want it to sound how we sound live and not be
Totally.
trying to, like, piece it together afterward.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. That's
so that
sweet.
yeah, that influenced a lot of it, and just Bryce joining the band in general and being able to play multiple instruments
Right.
and writing with us, like, really lended itself to how the EP sounds.
Yeah, your guys' live show is so much fun. I saw you open for Alex Napping, and I was blown away.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was sick. Now you're able, Caden, to just focus on bass parts, right?
Yeah,
than,
more
like,
or
trying
less.
to.
Bass parts and electronics.
Yeah, totally. Is that more fun or?
It's I don't know if it's more fun. It's like way less stressful. I guess it is less or more fun because it is less stressful. And
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I like to play bass. I don't like to try to do 10 things at once if I can avoid it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like really, it's really awesome to just focus on the bass and, like, how I can, like, I guess, play the bass.
Definitely.
Because there's only 3 of us, so we all have to, like, pull up the slack as much as we can.
Right, right.
Because, yeah, before there was, like, a lot of looping, and Caden would have to, like, set down a bassist pretty much with his
Yeah.
bass and then with the drum machine, and it was sick. Like,
It was quite a
but
spectacle.
it was a lot of work, and it
Yeah.
It took us like 2 minutes just to get a song ready to
Yeah.
play.
it was cool, but, like, I really prefer this iteration
Yeah,
a lot.
totally.
I think it gives all of us just, like, we can just play.
Yeah.
And, like, you know.
It seems like you guys are having more fun. I remember seeing you at Innisfree. Caden was, like, literally sitting on the floor with his bass so he could, like, do the drums and play bass.
Yeah.
And no one could see him. So now everyone can see Caden's beautiful face. So that's cool.
That's really what we were going for, honestly. That's why all of this happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of Caden.
Yeah, exactly.
You're too kind.
Well, I know you guys have to run, but thank you so much for stopping in.
Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
No
yeah,
problem.
we really appreciate it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first episode of The Bubble. We're having a blast over here. We can't tell you what's on the next episode because it's a secret, and also we don't know yet. But a couple quick thanks. Thank you to James Calvet, our best boy who wrote that amazing theme song. Thank you to George Bangs for designing our logo. Thank you to Mac Bolack, Evan Stevens Hall, and all of American Grandma. We love you all very much. Thanks so much for giving us your time. We'll see you back here next month. It's The Bubble. I love you.